his kid got a bad, head injury, and it stripped motocross from him. So I'm trying to help him any way I can. Anyway, I think he built the chapel with intentions to get in and figure out what I was doing.
I met a gypsy.
What did those tough years look like?
That was heavy, man. Well, for one, going through litigation, you feel like you're going to lose everything. So now you got 4 years of like...
So what was this litigation? Was it the same lawsuit?
the first one actually was kid got a bad concussion. He had a shit helmet on too. But anyway, got to the hospital. His brain had started swelling, and anyway, had a bad concussion. He ended up recovering and all of that. But yeah, I didn't see that one coming. When I say bad concussion, like he had surgeries. So for sure, he was in the hospital for a while. We're visiting him. His dad ended up keeping his fifth wheel on the property while he was there because they were staying locally at a trauma center. Got to know him. In the meantime, he had been kind of looking for ways to stay busy, claimed to be a construction guy. So wanted to build a chapel on the property. He said through, this episode, he found God, and I'm a Christian. God told him, build a chapel at ClubMX. And anyway, I'm like, yeah, dude, that'd be sick. He'll come every Wednesday night and do like a Bible study group. And anyway, long story short, building the chapel. That's where I seen, man, it's a cool little building. It'd be a dope little cabin. Built 2 of them. Let him do it all. Went good. So I'm like, we need a clubhouse. Now at this time, we're feeding kids too. We're cooking. Have a nutritionist, Deborah, basically gave us a program to follow, but we're doing it all out of a trailer house, dude. It was crazy. I mean, even Alex and Phil and Zach and like all the OGs, like they know this story, but I mean, dude, we'd be sitting in the bunkhouse, this trailer house, single wide trailer house, everybody's lined in the walls. There's 27 people and they're eating fucking dinner together, dude. It was so cool. And at that time, it was like a little bit of a pain, but looking back, I'm like, how dope was that? 20 kids and literally 20 to 30. Mike's on the grill cooking wide open. I mean, not to a high standard, don't get me wrong, but dude, it's food, right? We're all living out in the middle of nowhere. We're bros. Like there was not much cell phone service, and it was cool, man. We ate breakfast together. We ate dinner together. We do all of our training. It was really cool. Small niche group of guys.
What was the riding like? I'm sure there was some sick sessions.
Gnarly, dude. Way too much. You cannot train like that. Zach just pushed the envelope, and Alex was a meathead too. Like he's fit, dude. Worked hard. Gnarly. We'd do some interval sessions. We would load up the meal with our gas cans, meet down at the starting gate, and we'd run through these intervals. There were 3 tanks of gas straight in middle of summer, like insane. And we'd do this between race weekends.
So what did those intervals look like?
4 lappers, 3 lappers, 2 lappers, 1 lappers, all with 2 minutes rest between, sitting out in the sun in the middle of summer. You do your first 4-lap sprint. I mean, your freight training, Zach, Alex, Phil, Brayton, Shane McGrath was just coming on the clock. Kyle Peters, like a good fucking group of guys, man. And, they're competitive, dude. But this was like a little bit, I think, maybe the Ricky effect of like work harder, grind. We did it for sure. These dudes are nuts. Zach was still in the Europe phase, like grill it out, man.
That 40-minute moto vibe.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so that was gnarly. Cool. Again, major learning opportunities for me. At that time, I had no idea what I was learning, but I'm a sponge, just taking everything in we're doing every year, just trying to be a better program the next year. And but that was cool. There were some really cool moments during those days, watching those dude dogfight and guys not making any money, now made money and had good careers. That's crazy. I never actually thought of that.
Who you're thinking guys like Brayton, guys like Osborne, guys like Shane.
Well, during this
Phil,
time, yeah, Phil and Alex, yeah, dude, they're buying the cheapest food possible because they had no money. I'm in the same boat with them, just trying to get by. Zach just came back. He took off quick. Alex and Phil and them guys, they had to work for it. Brayton, he was already in a good spot when he came to club because he was riding for JGR at the time. But yeah, he's one of the OGs, dude, and that's really cool. see him watch a successful career, get those perspectives of all them. But McElrath was a really cool story. Yeah, there's just so many of them. It's crazy to think now that a lot of them stories are done. That's what I've never thought about. I'm like, man, I just watched it in front of my eyes and it's
Came
over.
and went.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And it'd be interesting, like their perspective on club, because they seen it from, dude, for years I was dragging my knee around because I couldn't even walk, but I'm like, I'm fucking working, dude. Got my knee fixed way later on, but I didn't give a shit about anything.
That level of grind and just being in it.
Yeah,
It's a crazy phase of your life.
it is, yeah. And those dudes seen it. I put in hours, days, still do. But at that time, it was 7 days a week. There is no other stuff. I had no hobbies for years, just ClubMX.
Yeah.
Yeah, my fiance moved down like a year later. Dude, we were living in the bunkhouse with the kids for a long time. Some parents felt bad for us. One day a guy showed up with a motorhome because he felt so bad for Shauna.
That's wild. Are you guys married now?
Yeah.
That's
two
insane.
girls. Yeah.
That's insane.
And we live in right in the middle of the biggest stream facility in the world.
Fuck.
Literally, there is no place like ClubMX.
I need to go there just to get the visual of just like how big. Everyone tells me that it's just the coolest shit.
Yeah, I feel like the luckiest person in the world.
Yeah, well, a lot of luck and a lot of hard work.
Yeah, for sure.
So, what was the lawsuit around the chapel? So we kind of like got to that.
Yeah. Anyway, dude, we start building this clubhouse. First real investment, real money, right? I think I took out my first loan, and at Loretta's, the fucking building was roughed in with the windows in it. Like, I'm so pumped after Loretta's. I go back, the thing tipped over. It was in a pile. Found out, through him, trusted him that he was doing the permitting and inspections. I called the inspector. I'm like, hey man, I don't know what to do, but right before that, we had a bit of a falling out. Some parents started warning me the building wasn't being built right. And so I kind of had a Friday meeting with him, and like he freaked out on me and, whatever. So I'm like, dude, get out of here. That sucks. I felt bad for this guy. I was trying to help. His kid got a bad, head injury, and it stripped motocross from him. So I'm trying to help him any way I can. Anyway, I think he built the chapel with intentions to get in and figure out what I was doing. And that day after I kicked him out, it's like 2 days later, we got served. It was like a 50-page suit, like just bullshit, man. I mean, bullshit. He sued Zach, Mark, everybody. And yeah, it created a lot of resentment, I think, between me and Zach a little bit, but I just knew it was bothering him. But yeah, it was bothering me too. Like, I kind of felt like, you go through that stuff. You're like, well, why am I putting all this time into something somebody can just take? Because when you get put in them positions, they say you're gonna get locked up. At that time, that's the way it feels. You're gonna lose everything. You learn in business that sometimes this is just business. If you're in the right and you're really doing you need to let go of that stuff. And I've learned that.
And just deal with it as it comes, as just another challenge.
Yeah, because I want to whoop my ass.
Really?
Oh yeah.
So what were they actually? Was it for the kid's injury that they were suing you for?
Yeah, they had all these stories about how told him to go sleep it off and just like different stuff. Like, he hit his head gnarly. He was puking right away. Didn't know where he was. Set him on the tailgate, took his gear off, and he immediately went in. His sister happened to be there and drove him in right away. And they just put a whole different story on it, just negligence, and then brought up like daycare, all this kind of stuff, and just everything he could find, dude. And through the chapel, I kind of felt for him, So I had opened up to him a lot through the business. Like, he became a friend. So he quickly realized Zach's role, Mark's role, and Rick's role. Talked me into doing even some office work to help me catch up, because he knew I was grinding. He got in my office and he knew all that shit. When we got served, dude, I went straight in there because I had those waivers in a folder and they were gone. But, like the attorney would say, well, your dog eat your papers. I'm just a fucking punk kid trying to figure this stuff out, dude.
Fuck.
And it felt like everything was just a complete waste. Throw it out the window. It's another failure. You feel that way for a long time. You're not sleeping at night. And you start turning into the asshole. Like, it's the tests that really churn you. And Yeah, that was a hard one. Ended up getting resolved, but it carried out for like a couple of years. And right when it got resolved, the next one happened. And that was with the kid because club started growing again. And then that one hurt because that one drug out. And dude, it was like 6 years.
And so what was that one for?
4 years. That was for the kid that got landed on.
Oh, right. Okay.
So those two were back to back. The one ran out, and the next one started. And like when we settled the first one, I was like, finally, dude, I get to move on. I am not the dude that likes sitting and talking with attorneys and getting deposed. Like, I'm the dude that likes to be in the middle of nowhere and just doing my thing quietly. That's me. That's who I am. That bothered me, dude. I was like, this system is fucking rigged. I don't like it at all. Hate it, But again, you learn, you adapt. I needed some tougher skin. I needed to go through that because the challenges that come along the way, like this is what gets you there. So it was a tough one. That clubhouse blew over in a storm, dude. And here I am now. I'm being sued by the dude that just built it. Turned out he used a fake building codes number or license number, contractor license. The county had no idea I was even building anything. And I'm just like, Brandon, you idiot. There's a snake in the grass this whole time. And he pulled it over with you on the chapel. So I'm like, I want to burn this thing down. I want to sue this guy back. And I just stuck to my principles. Hey, I should have seen this. I got to be better. Let's figure it out and move on. And that's all I did. And then the next one happens. And I'm like, maybe I'm not going to figure this out. But at this time, I had a lot more support. Ben and my sister, Jolene. And, just a lot of clubs growing by this point. So I can start really seeing a bigger picture, but still very young. But there was like, I'd say 4 years of just stagnant, no growth, beating your head against the wall. And it got challenging.
Just going through it.
Yeah. I mean, again, people that could witness it know I ain't exaggerating when I say I was 7 days a week, long days, day after day, for years.
Yeah.
Years, neglecting everything else, my health. I'm not really riding at this time. Started building resentment to the sport, I would say, in a way, and a lot of people around me were too, because it took everything from me. But yeah, there's always those next chapters you learn from, and then you kind of get back to what people call balance.
I was literally about to say, there's a period in owning your own business and a period in trying to build something from nothing where the concept of work-life balance is not a thing.
No, you got to earn balance.
There's no, and it just comes in waves. Like we're honestly in one of those at the moment. Like I had 5 months back in Australia dealing with some bullshit, and then you come back and it's just like, I'm not doing anything but working, sleeping, and eating for probably 2 months because like we got to get shit back rolling. And yeah, you just got to fucking, there's no work-life balance. You do what you can, you sneak in a walk every now and again, like
Right.
couple of phone calls with the wife, that's it, locked in. You just got to fucking ride it out, boys.
Yeah, I don't know many successful people that had balance the whole time. You pay your dues.
There's a problem though. I got a friend of mine when I say this, I wonder if he's listening. There's a problem of never finding balance though.
Oh, for sure.
Like I've got a friend, I would say he doesn't have much balance, and sometimes I worry about him because he's insanely successful now. Started from fucking nothing, literally nothing. Worked his way up. We started a very similar kind of time in our life, like both around 2007, 2008. And now he's just crushing, but he still just redlines it, and he doesn't look after his health in the right way. He is just still going.
He's addicted to it.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I think there's a problem when you can't see the bigger picture, because it's like, what are you working for? You can definitely get to the point where it would take a very significant amount of money to make your life better, and it would take a significant amount of money to make your life worse. So why are you going so hard at the expense of your health?
Yeah.
And your relationships? And,
totally.
I even know some people like in their 50s that just fuck, we've got millions and millions and millions of dollars, and they haven't reeled back. And it's like addictive and competitive, and maybe they're not dealing with some like internal shit, so that it's an excuse to just to keep going, you know. Like, so it's a very double-edged sword where you need to be prepared to have no balance at all, and you need to have the people around you on board with having no balance, which sounds like your wife was, you know. But then there's a point where when you can't make these jumps that can completely change your life and the ship is pretty steady, that I really do believe you need to reassess where you're at in life, you know?
Right. Yeah. You got to find the things you're really grateful for and harness in on those, because you can get lost. No doubt about it. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think you pay your dues to try to find balance one day, and hopefully you don't get caught up in it, because money can be an addictive thing. And if you get good at making money, it's just like anything else, dude. You get good at something, you chase it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't know. I guess I learned those lessons really early on, that it wasn't about money. Never had been. It was about dirt bikes. I think I lost that because of just working my butt off, because I wasn't riding much either, you know, and I always had that, but I just didn't have time. I tried like filling the void with mountain biking and road racing. Like, mountain bike racing was fun, but once I got back into moto, I'm like, even with the race team, I tell those guys all the time, all I want is a badass bike.
Mm-hmm.
And I want it ready to ride anytime I want to ride. That's it. I'm not taking no money. I'm putting my money into it. Like, I'm sure there's a perception of a race team that you're making money and all this shit. That's just naive talk. I just want a cool bike, dude. And if I can ride a couple days a week, I'm stoked.
Yeah.
If I can race Loretta's, I'm stoked. Like, it took me to get back to this, and now I'm saying that's my balance. That helps me have a better relationship with my family. Like, if I can just blow it off for that little bit and make sure I keep understanding why I love dirt bikes so much. For me, I have to ride. To each their own. But you got to find that little in. For me, it comes back to the roots, dude. I want to ride till I can't ride no more. That motivates me to be healthy, to eat healthy, take care of my body. I just want to charge. If I go mountain biking, I want a mountain bike. So yeah, I think for me, like, there's a vision in your head, as we talking about, like, I want to be the 50-year-old that's still a badass.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want to do whatever I want to do. I don't want to get caught up in something that takes me away from that picture. And to me, that's what creates balance. That's her saying, yeah, that ain't worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Because opportunities keep coming, and you got to pick and choose kind of carefully, or you can go backwards, you can get caught up in some stuff, or you just get addicted to it.
Yeah, the bigger you get, the more no's are important. At the start, yeses are important.
Yeah.
But then as you get established, the no's are what's actually important.
For sure. No doubt about it.
Like, what you end up turning down.
Yeah.
So the lawsuits put a strain on you and Zach that ultimately he was just had to go like, okay, I've just got to focus on racing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, naiveness, right? He thought he's going to go to jail and all this. I mean, we were all freaking out, dude. There's a bunch of knuckleheads. Like, again, I have a clue what I was doing. This is just, I don't know. I could say winging it, but winging it with confidence.
Yeah.
But I had a picture in my head I'm chasing, and that picture is always changing. Still to this day, like, I take a lot of pride in ClubMX, but we're just scratching the surface. It's just now taking off.
You just finished watching a clip from the full 3-hour podcast. You're on our Clips channel. The full podcast live on the Gypsy Tales podcast channel. It's linked right here. Go over to that channel, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and make sure you never miss a full episode of the Gypsy Tales podcast. If you don't want to watch it on YouTube, you want to watch it on the go, you can also head to our iTunes or Spotify to get the full 3-hour podcast in audio format.
I met a gypsy.